Hello and welcome to today's video on addiction recovery. Addiction is a problem that affects millions of people worldwide and can have devastating consequences for individuals and their loved ones. Whether it's substance abuse, gambling, or any other form of addiction, recovery can be a long and difficult journey. In this video, we will be discussing why addiction recovery is so difficult and how to get help. Understanding addiction. Let's start by understanding what addiction is. Addiction is a chronic and relapsing brain disease that causes compulsive behavior despite the harmful consequences. This can include substance abuse, such as alcohol or drugs, but also other forms of addiction such as gambling, sex, or even shopping. With these forms of addiction, individuals experience an uncontrollable urge to engage in the behavior, even when it causes negative consequences in their life. This can lead to financial problems, strained relationships, and other difficulties. Just like with substance abuse, the brain adapts to the behavior and begins to rely on it to function normally. Why addiction recovery is so difficult? Now that we have a basic understanding of addiction, let's talk about why recovery is so difficult. One of the biggest reasons is the psychological and physical dependence that develops with addiction. This can be true for all forms of addiction, including substance abuse, gambling, and other behaviors. The brain has adapted to the presence of the substance or the behavior, and it can be difficult to function normally without it. In addition, addiction often co-occurs with other mental health conditions such as anxiety or depression, making the recovery process even more challenging. The fear of withdrawal symptoms can also be a barrier to recovery, as the individual may not feel ready or able to deal with the physical and emotional discomfort that can come with detox. Finally, addiction can cause significant damage to one's personal and professional life, leading to feelings of shame and guilt that can make it difficult to seek help and support. Furthermore, addiction can affect a person's relationships with their loved ones, causing trust and communication issues that can make it challenging to rebuild those bonds. The stigma surrounding addiction can also be a barrier, as individuals may feel ashamed or embarrassed to admit that they have a problem. This can make it difficult for them to reach out for help and support. Another factor that makes addiction recovery difficult is the possibility of relapse. Relapse is a common part of the recovery process, and it's important to understand that it doesn't mean that the individual has failed. Rather, it's a sign that the individual may need to make adjustments to their recovery plan or seek additional support. How to get help. So, how can one get help for addiction recovery? The first step is to reach out for support, whether that's from family, friends, or support groups. There is strength in numbers, and having a network of people who understand what you're going through can be incredibly beneficial. It's also important to seek professional help, such as therapy or counseling, to address the underlying issues that may be contributing to the addiction. In some cases, medication-assisted treatment may also be necessary, especially for those with substance abuse issues. This involves using medications, such as methadone or buprenorphine, to manage withdrawal symptoms and reduce cravings. Inpatient or outpatient rehabilitation programs can also be a helpful resource for those in the early stages of recovery. These programs provide structure, support, and resources to help individuals on their journey to recovery. Maintaining sobriety. Once individuals have taken the steps to begin their recovery journey, it's important to focus on maintaining sobriety. This can be done through continued support from family, friends, and support groups, as well as regular therapy or counseling sessions. It's also important to find healthy coping mechanisms to replace the addictive behavior, such as exercise, hobbies, or other activities that bring joy and purpose to one's life. Overcoming relapse. As mentioned earlier, relapse is a common part of the recovery process, and it's important to understand that it doesn't mean failure. If an individual does experience a relapse, it's important to reach out for support and to reassess their recovery plan. It may be necessary to make changes to their treatment plan or to seek additional support. Remember that recovery is a journey and there may be setbacks along the way, but with perseverance and determination, it is possible to achieve and maintain sobriety. In conclusion, addiction recovery can be a long and difficult journey, but it is possible to overcome with the right support and resources. Whether it's substance abuse, gambling, or any other form of addiction, The most important thing is to reach out for help. Remember that you are not alone and there is support available. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, please don't hesitate to reach out for help. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.